Welcome to 50 Shades of Shilamida, the podcast where nothing is off limits. As a multidimensional sovereign mom, partner, CEO, serial entrepreneur, speaker, and best-selling author, I am on a mission to help more women and men become fully embodied in their sovereignty and power so they can live their truth, speak it unapologetically, and live a life free from the matrix. Each week, I will bring you episodes that will awaken you, inspire you to think outside of the box, and step into the leader that you know that you are. The world needs more people who are walking their talk and unafraid to stand in their truth, and I'm here as your guide to help you do just that. Welcome to 50 Shades of Shilamida. I am super excited to be here with you guys today. I am recording this from a little staycation in Long Branch, New Jersey, where I'm going to be getting married on 11/11/22, and I am super excited to be here. I'm excited to hop on and record for you guys. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been listening, commenting, doing all the things. I'm super excited for everybody that is just expanding and growing with me. And together we rise. I am coming off of a really fun, exciting weekend. I got to go to Columbus, Ohio for the Pure Haven yearly conference. It was a lot of fun. It was totally unexpected. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. The last time I went and spoke at a conference in Ohio, we were in Bumblefuck, Ohio. It was pretty wild. I had to drive 45 minutes to get a blowout at J.C. Penney. That was the only place available for blowouts. And we went out to dinner with some of the people that have invited us to come speak. And they were telling us how they go outside and they actually hunt for their own food and they eat things like squirrel and grasshopper. And I don't know, it was just a really interesting experience. So when I was asked to go speak at this conference and was told that it was in Ohio, I was a little reluctant, but I ended up going. And the theme of this podcast is go for it, because I realized that there's been so many times in my life that I just go for things, whether I think they're going to be successful or not, whether I think that thing of it, I just want to try everything. And I've pretty much always been like this, but I haven't really known that I've always been like this. It's only more recently that I'm looking back at my life in hindsight and I realize how many things that I went for, even though like the situation or the circumstances may have told me not to go for it. So, for instance, this whole Pure Haven experience for me, when I was first approached with it, it was actually a couple of years ago when I was an acupuncturist, and I used to do swag bags for the events that I do. I still do, not used to, but and with the swag bags, I would have people donate from Pure Haven every single time. But the funny thing is that I never made a swag bag for myself. I don't know why. And so all the products that were being given to us, I never actually tried. And so fast forward to February of this year when a friend of mine was in my inbox very persistently telling me that I was going to love this company, that I needed to give it a try. I did what most people do when you hear about a network marketing or a direct marketing company. You're just, okay, whatever. I have to be in the mood to shop. If I'm not in the mood to shop, I don't really want to buy stuff. And a lot of times I'm the type of shopper where I fill up a shopping cart and then I abandon shopping cart. And then I like just waste a whole lot of time. Who can relate to that? I know people listening can totally relate to that. So she kept coming back, and I'm super grateful that she kept coming back, because finally, this one time she was like, listen, you just have to trust me. She's like, because everything you keep talking about this year, it's totally aligned with you. She's like, this company has a auto ship. They're completely toxin free. They're made in the USA. And I just kept talking about how I was tired of ordering from Amazon Subscribe and Save, because I am a regular customer there. And let's face it, Jeff Bezos just does not need any more of my money. But I like the convenience of the subscribe and save. I like that things show up to my house every month and that I don't have to really think about it. And we always have the things that we need. And I really wanted to start buying American made. I, truth be told, used to be a very big China shopper. And I like when things are inexpensive and it's fun, right? Like the whole throwaway culture. But I'm starting to realize A, how bad that is for our environment. B, China doesn't need any more of my money either. And C, I really want to see Americans flourish because we are suffering so badly. And she just kept telling me how in alignment this company was with me. And so I finally signed up. And there was two options to sign up at the time. It was a $35, like a wholesale membership kind of thing, like a Costco, or there was $199 to buy this 7-piece face kit. And truth be told, 6 months ago, I didn't even wash my face. It's so embarrassing to say it out loud, but it's true. It's not a big makeup wearer, so I didn't have to take off makeup every day. And even when I did wear makeup, it was like blush and mascara, so it wasn't really a big deal. I had these makeup wipes that I would use, and it was enough. And then I would go get facials, and that was just my skincare routine. So $199 to buy a face kit was just not enticing for me at all. It's okay, out of all of these things, I'll probably use the moisturizer because I did use a moisturizer, but that was really it. So I paid the $35 and I didn't do anything with it. And then I had a mentor come in, Anna, who is one of the uplines in the company. And she was like, let's get on a call. Let me go through the product suite with you. And I'm like, okay. So I get on the call with her and I start looking at some of the stuff. And it was like, soap was like, I don't know, $17. I'm like, that's expensive. I've got 6 bathrooms. She was like, listen, if you work this business, you'll never have to pay soap again. And truth be told, I had no intention of working any kind of business. I retired as an acupuncturist in November. I have my online business where I do my master classes. I teach from my books. I get to speak on stages. I didn't want anything else. But I was totally open this year to influencing. If I could post about something and make a few bucks if someone makes a purchase, great. I started looking at the things and they had these bundles, right? So I went to the bundles and then my extreme couponing brain started to register from my past. Hey, if I get 35% back in commission, which is what the commission is in this business, then these bundles come out to be like really inexpensive. And she was like, see, I told you. So in one of the bundles, there was the face kit. So smart. So it showed up to my house. I happened to be leaving for a business trip. It showed up to my house in this beautiful box that I opened up, and it had step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. And I was like, oh, look at this. So I took the box and I threw it into my suitcase because I was leaving for a business trip. And that night, my kids went to go explore the hotel, and I decided to do a live on Facebook and to wash my face. Imagine. And so she called me up after, my mentor, Anna, and she was like, great live. Let me teach you how to put on eye cream. I didn't even know how to use the products that were in the box. So that's how, for those of you that are listening who are like, I don't wash my face either, Shill. I don't do any kind of self-care like that. I'm telling you this story because it's really important. This 2.5 minutes that I take for myself every single day now has been life changing. And I'll get into that as to why in a few minutes. So I started using the products, and a couple of days later, they took that $199 kit and they dropped it to $99. And that was just explosive for me. And the rest is just history. This weekend, I was asked to go speak at this conference in front of a company of 6,000 consultants. Not only was I asked to speak, but they have an awards gala. And at the awards gala, I got called up on stage at least 13 times. I stopped counting. I got trophies. I got 5 different trophies. I got certificates. And with each award that I was winning, I was sending photos to my fiance to show my kids. And my kids were so excited. They were so proud of me. They got to listen to me speak because we streamed it live on Facebook. And it was just one of the coolest experiences, not just for me, but for my family, like for the kids who are watching. It's like, mommy retired as an acupuncturist in November, and my kids were like in a panic. They're like, what are you going to do now? Are you going to be home all the time? Like, what are you going to do, mommy? And I didn't really know, right? Because since the world has been shut down, the travel has slowed down. So there hasn't been as much in-person stuff to be at. but it ended up becoming like this really great experience. And the best part is that every time I share Pure Haven with somebody, helping them make better choices for their life, I'm helping them to clean up their products. Like CVS used to be my favorite place to go, especially when my first was really little. I don't love walking. So I used to throw him in the stroller, and CVS was half a mile from my house. So I would walk to CVS. I would walk through CVS and then I would walk home. That was like our walk for the day. And I would coupon there like crazy. If you are a couponer, CVS is the place to do it because you could get stuff for so little or for free. And it's just where I spent a lot of time. And now I like stay away from CVS like it's the plague, because I realize that everything inside of that store is just toxic sludge. Like I needed to buy a present for somebody and I didn't have anywhere else to go. It was like CVS was like my only option. And I'm walking around the store and I cannot give somebody anything that is toxic at this point. Like even if somebody gifts me something, I can't even regift it because I just know and I feel responsible. And so I'm walking around the store and I'm like, "Ugh, what do I buy here?" It's all the cleaning products are toxic. All the face products are toxic. Even the products that say all the right things and are in the right packaging, we call that green washing. So I am just super excited that I said yes to this opportunity. And this wasn't the only opportunity that I said yes to at a time in my life that I was really unsure. Like all those years ago when I was on food stamps and a friend of mine told me to go to acupuncture school, I walked into acupuncture school and the bursar told me that it was going to be like $55,000 for acupuncture school plus books. And here I am living on food stamps and I'm like, how is this even going to happen? Like, I called up my friend because she told me that if I was on a spiritual journey, that I needed to go to acupuncture school. So I called up my friend. I'm like, this is a really expensive spiritual journey you're sending me on. I can't afford this. And she was like, you don't understand. Like, you're going to make your money back the first year. Like, you just have to figure it out and you have to do it. Right. And so I did. I figured it out and I did it. And I've done that for so many things in my life. I can't even begin to tell you. Like when I needed acupuncture for the first time in my life, I was in a really bad place. I was in the middle of a nervous breakdown and I just couldn't afford it. We feel like we can't afford things in our life because we don't have the money for it. But the truth is that we have the money for everything. We really do. We have the money for everything. It's just, what do we value, right? As what we want to spend money on. So I'll give you an example. For the acupuncture, I ended up going to her. I think she was like $180 a treatment. And I told her, I'm like, listen, I'm on food stamps. Like, I just don't have the money for that. So she brought it down to $50, which was still a lot of money for me at the time. But I ended up doing it and it was life changing for me. It really was life changing. I needed that healing. I was holding on to so many things and I needed to let a lot of that stuff go. And I was going through this nervous breakdown. Like I needed the mental support that I wasn't able to give to myself in that moment. So a few weeks ago, I hosted something at my house and I reached out to somebody and I offered them a ticket to come. It was $55. It's one of the lowest tickets I've ever offered to this person. And so she gave me the same excuse that she wasn't able to afford it and would I be able to do something for her. So I gave her a reduced rate because there were other people that were included and she was okay with that. And then she ended up coming to my house and I ended up buying something from her, which I thought was really nice. And then over the next few weeks, I'm watching her on social media and I see that she's a member at one of the most expensive gyms in our area, number one. Then I see that she rented a beach house at the Jersey Shore. So I don't know if you guys know, these Jersey Shore houses are not that inexpensive. And in that moment, I started to realize that I will never discount anything again because people tell you that they can't afford things, but then when they really want it or they really desire it, they always make the space and find the money for it. every single time. And the I can't afford it, or the no, or the whatever negative comes out first, it's just a sense of control. It's like a way that they can control the situation and put it off, because our cognitive dissonance doesn't allow for us to see the bigger picture. We're looking for some kind of evidence. And when it comes to like network marketing, the evidence shows that network marketing is a scam a lot of times, is unreliable. You have to put a lot of money into it. But with Pure Haven, it's not like that at all. And with a lot of the other things that I've done in my life, like I've done two other multi-level marketing companies. When I was 21, I sold for a company called Party Light Candles. I think that they're still around. I love them. Now I wouldn't use them to save my life because of the toxicity. And then when I was pregnant with my first, I sold for a company called Tastefully Simple, which is definitely still around. And every single one of these opportunities led me to something else. So I may not have made $1 million in the multi-level marketing companies. I don't even think I made anywhere near six figures. But what I did get was a whole lot of personal development. Like, one of the best parts about direct selling companies and multi-level marketing companies is that they feed you a lot of personal development. And it's incredible to be surrounded by people like that. When I was 21 years old, it's the very first time I heard the words law of attraction, right? I was at the Party Light convention, and somebody was sitting next to me at lunchtime, and she said, "You need to read the law of attraction. It'll change your life." And so I went, I bought the book, I read the first 3 pages. There was no pictures in there. I was severely bored, and I put it on my shelf, and I did not pick that book up again for the next 7 years. Imagine, it took me 7 years to pick up that book. And when I finally picked it up again, I read it in 2 days because I was ready to receive the information. So things are coming at us all the time. And I do a lot of classes on manifesting, right? Like, I teach people how to manifest. I am the queen of manifesting. I really am. It's like anything I think comes to life. And what people need to realize is that you just don't think it and it comes to life, right? You think it and you summon the universe to start sending you the thing that you're thinking about. And so opportunities start coming your way. And it's opportunities of healing, it's opportunities of connection, it's opportunities for business, it's opportunities for all these things. But we have to be ready and open to receive it. So a lot of times we put a manifestation out there in the world, but we're not ready to receive it, which is why we haven't gotten it yet. It's not because you don't deserve it. It's not because you're not worthy of it. It's because you haven't expanded yourself enough to be able to hold it. So when I was on food stamps, I couldn't live the life that I'm living now. I did not have the emotional intelligence. I did not have the mind capacity. I was not this open. I was not able to break things down and see them for what they are. I was very much in the matrix and blinded and just not ready. So what we need to remember is that when we're asking the universe for things, we then have to really pay attention to the signs and the messages that are coming at us, because the universe wants you to have everything that you desire. We were brought to this earth plane in order to receive our every desire. But we learn fear, we learn limitations, we have ancestral garbage that we come here with, and all of these things are blocking us from living out these magnificent lives. And so it's a whole learning process, but most people, they don't want to learn. They feel very comfortable in their life, so they don't want to change that. And so I'm here to tell you, whatever it is that you have been waiting for, whatever it is that you've been thinking about, go for it. You got to just go for it. You got to give it a try, because what's the worst that's going to happen? The worst that's going to happen is that you're going to fail. And guess what? You're going to survive. And that's the one thing that I'm so proud of myself for, is that in all of the things that I've ever done in my life, I'm not afraid to fail. I just don't care. It's like, I tried it. I don't like it. I'm going to move on from it. It's like this podcast came alive because I did a live radio show, and I realized doing a live radio show that I didn't like it. I didn't like being on a time schedule. I didn't like having to interview people for a certain amount of time. The whole time thing it was hard for me. It was every week at the same time. So then I was missing out on things. And so I tried it. I gave it my all. I got through a lot of nervousness, a lot of fear, because people have been telling me to do a podcast for years and I just never did one because I was afraid. I guess there was some kind of fear in me. Like, I'm not a big podcast listener. So I'm like, who's going to listen to my podcast if I don't listen to other people's podcasts? But I'm a video maker. So when I was in the live radio show, finally, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to record it on video. I'm going to make it as long or short as I want. And I'm going to have fun with it. And so here we are, because I went for it. So you just got to go for it. You just got to try. That's why we're here. If you're living in comfort, you got to get out of your comfort zone, because if you don't get yourself out of the comfort zone, the universe is going to take you out of your comfort zone, because we didn't come here to be comfortable. We came here to accomplish things. We came here to accomplish a lot of things for some people, right? And for other people, you didn't come here to accomplish that much, but you still got to get out of your comfort zone, because if you don't, magic's never going to happen. And we're supposed to live in a magical world. We really are. This world is made up of magic, and we are miracle makers. We are truly miracle makers. Like this weekend, the fact that I got so many awards, I've only been actively working the company for 4 months. People have been in the company for a year. This conference was for an entire year. And I was in the top out of 6,000 people. How does that happen? Because I defied the impossible, right? It's for me, I don't need to see the evidence of it anymore. I realized that I create my own evidence. I set the bar for other people to come meet me. And it took me a really long time to realize that, because my whole life I tried to fit into a box. I did an episode on this before. So if you're new and you're just catching this for the first time, go check out my other podcast episodes, because I was always trying to fit in and I never understood why I didn't fit in. And now I realize I'm not supposed to fit in. I'm supposed to break down the old paradigms and help to create the new ones. I'm supposed to pave the way for people who are just like me, thinking, why don't I fit into the box? So there's something for everybody. You are magnificent just the way that you are. There is nothing wrong with you. And you're going to do amazing things in this life. If you landed here on this podcast right now, I just know this is your sign that you are going to do magnificent things in this world. So I thank you so much for listening, for watching, however you catch me on here. I would truly appreciate it if you can share this with a friend, if you can subscribe to the show, if you can leave me a comment, if you can go like some of my things on social media. I am in the shadow band world, so all of my things don't get to be seen all of the time. And that's a little sad, but I still show up because I know that my voice is important and I know that I'm able to help a lot of people, and it's a lot of fun. I love you so much. I'm going to go hit the beach, and I hope that you have a magnificent rest of your day. And if you would like to join me, I teach a master class every single Tuesday. My next master class is next Tuesday. It is called Pleasure. I'm going to teach you how to manifest from a place of pleasure. It is going to be one of the best master classes I've ever taught, because this is all new content. I've never actually gone live and talked about the things that I'm planning on talking about next week. And if you're interested in one-to-one mentorship, reach out for that too. I am available for a select few every month, and I'm super excited to see what we can create in our life together. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to 50 Shades of Shilamida. Your support means the world to me. And most of all, I love knowing that these episodes are creating massive impact in your life. Love the episode, share the love on social media, and tag me at 50 Shades of Shilamida. And let us know your favorite takeaway. Subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts, as it helps us get into the ears and hearts of more listeners who need our message and be entered to win some incredible prizes. I am so grateful for you. Thank you.